It's been called the Dark Souls of Assassin's Creed games. A Witcher-like open-world experience. But is it really all of those things? Or is it just another Ubisoft open-world game? Today we'll seek to answer the question and many more in Jax Chubbz' latest fuck review of Assassin's Creed Oranges.
What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
What's up, everybody?
And today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Oranges. And how, in our opinion, it's the best Assassin's Creed game to date. Like, I can't say that 100% because there's a lot of Assassin's Creed games I haven't played. I played the first one, I played the Black Flag, and I played the one after that, the standalone Freedom Cry. So I've played those three games. This one blows all of them out of the water. It's the best Assassin's Creed game in my opinion, and honestly, I think that should be enough to sell it. Because there's a lot of people who love the Assassin's Creed games, and if they hear that this is the best one, I've heard that from veteran players, that it's the best one they've played. So I think that should be enough. So when you get into like the intro of this video, we were making fun of people who were saying it was Souls-like.
Or comparing it to other titles.
Yeah, like it's a disservice to this game to say that it's like Dark Souls, that it's like The Witcher. It's not like fucking Dark Souls. It's as much like Dark Souls as The Witcher is like Dark Souls if you remap heavy and light attacks from X and fucking Y to the triggers.
R1 and
Yeah.
R2.
Like, it's as much as, because that's the only thing it does that's Souls-like. It has a dodge. Yeah, it has a parry. Yeah, so does The Witcher. So does so many other games that we could just ramble off. That's not what makes Dark Souls Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls is Dark Souls because it's fucking Dark Souls. Now, that would have to be its own video. That, like, we've been planning on doing that for a while. But it's so many different elements within the story, exploration and discovery, you know, tough encounters that fucking like a brick wall in front of you that when you get through and you start to see the areas that open up after that, there's just a sense of pride and a feeling of joy that it's not comparable to even Assassin's Creed. Like, it's a disservice to Assassin's Creed Oranges.
Oh yeah, because gameplay-wise, you sit there and you think Dark Souls, well, gameplay-wise, there's not a lot that changes, you know, there are some things that you can get that, you know, but that you're not, like, starting with anything less than, you know, combat-wise. Your dodge is there, your parry's there. Whereas, like, in this one, it is all within a combat tree. And
the skill tree.
And on top of that, they have, like, the leap attack.
You have to earn the parry. You have to level up and unlock the parry. You have to unlock all these different things.
The charge attack, the power attack.
The shield break.
And then the hold the R1. But they have, like, a whole slew of different things there. And because they don't have the stamina mechanic like Dark Souls does, they have, the adrenaline rush?
Yeah, but that's just an overpower meter that once you fill up, you get an insta-kill.
Yeah, and
so it's not comparable either. Like, it's like I said, it's like in The Witcher you can spam attack, you know what I mean? Like, you can just attack. There's certain special heavy hitting moves that require stamina, but for the most part you're not draining your stamina by just auto attacking everything in sight. And I felt like that's what this reminded me of. It reminded me of The Witcher in combat more than it reminded me of Dark Souls.
Right.
The reason for that also is because the lock-on is fucking retarded in this.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, when there's a group of enemies, like, one-on-one, it's great. It's, you know, it's a really good idea to lock on. But when you're fighting multiple enemies, they're coming at you staggered, like, the safest option is to just unfucking lock and dodge behind them and attack their rear, because then you're getting the critical hit anyway. And so that's what it felt like to me, is like, that's how I play The Witcher. I don't lock on to anything. Like, if I'm fighting a pack of wolves, I'll dodge, hit, you know, and slowly whittle them down. That's what this felt like to me.
Oh yeah.
To compare it to Dark Souls, because the combat has a parry, a dodge, and a fucking block. Like, it's ridiculous. There's so many games that have all those things that are nowhere near what Dark Souls is at all. And I know, like, I mean, they're comparing Monster Hunter to fucking Dark Souls. Somebody, fucking Austin, tweeted something about, it said Dark Souls meets Jurassic Park Monster. No, dude, no. Like, just stop. Like, That's the thing, people. You're doing games a disservice by. I mean, Dark Souls is a fucking masterpiece, and it doesn't need to be compared to everything. Just because it's a hard game, and other games are hard, and that's fine.
Just
they can
say
be
they
hard.
made it more strategic.
That's exactly.
They
what
made
this
it more
is, yeah.
difficult.
What they did with Assassin's Creed Oranges with the combat was, they made it fucking so that like. There's more options than just like you go in stealth, and then if you get caught, you know, the combat in the other ones, it's just like, oh well, I press a button and I parry you and then I can attack you. It's not like that at all. It's much better, more refined, and it's almost like they gave people many more options. You can stealth around with your dagger if you want, your hidden blade, and you can just do Assassin's Creed the whole time. You can just stealth through an entire base and get all the, you know what I mean?
And they have tools to supplement that,
Yeah.
like frenzy and then the flesh decay.
Yeah,
and
there's
all
like
that
poisons
stuff.
and stuff you can do. Yeah, you can make enemies fight each other with the frenzy. You can poison the dead body and it'll spread plague to all the other enemies in the base and slowly drain their health. So there's all these different things you can do there. Then there's bows. You could use bows. You could creep on rooftops and just get headshots, you know, and kill everything that way. And then there's the melee combat with the shield, the parry, the dodge, you know.
All the different things that you can do.
Which it's almost like, and I played it through on hard, and on hard it felt like it wanted me to use as many of these as possible. Because when I'd get to the point where they were alerted and I was surrounded, like, it was hard to survive when there were so many of them, because I'd get hit a few times. It felt like Death March on The Witcher 3. So, like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all these different aspects they gave me and how I had to kind of use them all on hard. It was awesome. I felt like that's the thing about this game. Another thing is it's being compared to The Witcher. With like, it's like an open world game like The Witcher. It's not. And
not.
In his defense, Jim Sterling, I think he's wrong when he says it's just another Ubisoft open world game. But he's not wrong when he says that.
Right.
If that makes sense.
They
like,
add more.
There's more, but it's still, it's like, so you get these stories that are really cool, that are very, you know, like these side quests, things like that. They're awesome, but like in The Witcher, and I mean, not all games fall short on this to me personally, where I get done playing the game, it's an RPG, and I get done playing it, and nowadays it feels like I was on a linear path and there weren't many choices to be made.
At all.
And I mean, you look at like even one that I would say is one of the meatiest examples is Fallout 4, but where is the choices and the different outcomes to that? It's just on those 4 fucking factions, and that's if you can get
story.
Yeah, if you can get to that faction. But the thing they did is, there's like at an early point in the game, there's no check like who are you joining. It's like you can go and do quests for all of these different factions until like way late in the game.
Oh yeah.
You can do pretty much all the quests for all the factions.
You
that
can
you
just
want.
remain neutral and watch them all fuck each other up.
So it's like this game. I'd say Horizon Zero Dawn does it too. Horizon Zero Dawn has these quests that don't have different outcomes. It's the same thing. So on a repeat playthrough, like with The Witcher 3 that I've been doing just recently, I picked it up for $20 on GOG Game of the Year. Been replaying through it with mods, having a blast with it. And I'm having different outcomes to quests.
Oh yeah.
I've just decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick different fucking options the whole time. And I've already seen like 3 completely different outcomes to side quests. And with Assassin's Creed Oranges, the side quests were kind of disappointing.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they weren't bad, but they were disappointing in the same aspect of Horizon Zero Dawn's quests being disappointing to me personally.
Right.
And that is that it's okay. I've finished my one playthrough. Took me over 100 hours with Assassin's Creed, probably about 50 to 60 hours with Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm at this point where I've explored everything I want to explore. And I want to restart your game, but what's my incentive to restart your game?
Where's the end game gonna end? You know,
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. I just did it. But then there's games like The Witcher 3. So to compare Assassin's Creed Oranges, where you fucking go and someone needs help, so you go and you pick them up and you carry them,
and there's
like
always
every
a
fucking
prompt.
time.
There's always a prompt.
Yeah.
And then, like, as soon as you put them on the ground and you take them to
They
the
like, yeah.
There's all of
They
a sudden
stand
on their
up,
feet.
they're perfectly fine. They're
It's
like,
like,
oh, I'm
you
good enough.
lazy asshole. Why the fuck did I just carry you half a mile to fucking get you out of that place?
Honestly, it happened to the point I was counting, and I remember I stopped counting at 5.
Yeah.
Stopped counting at 5. There's over 100 fucking side quests in the game, and I couldn't tell you. I'd probably say at least 30 to 40% of those side quests are legit carrying people.
Oh yeah.
Like they amount to you carrying someone. So they have these interesting stories. They're off the beaten path. They're showing you this ancient world of Egypt that they built, which is beautiful. This world is so fucking beautiful, dude. I mean, it's as legit as you could possibly get with their sci-fi aspect added in. But it's as legit as you could get to like the topography and the pyramids and everything at that time that we'll ever see. Well, and being someone, I'm never gonna be able to go to Egypt, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just never gonna be able to do that in this lifetime. And being able to go there just in this game and see these pyramids and walk around the desert and like all these cool fucking places, seeing these people living like this, because it's a living world. I truly believe they did such a good job with the NPCs. You see them just doing the coolest shit.
They're
you're
like
wow,
you're fishing.
And you're starting to see this world that they've created, right? But to say that it's comparable to like The Witcher 3 is a disservice to Assassin's Creed Origins, because then I'm going to tell you, well, the quests are pretty much samey. You pick a motherfucker up, you take him away from wherever he's in trouble, and then you set him down, and that's the end of that fucking mission. You gotta
always pull out Senu.
Yeah, you gotta pull out Senu, and it's gonna give you the goddamn prompt every time.
Every time.
The on-screen prompts in this game are fucking retarded. Look, okay, I understand maybe you made this game for 2-year-olds, then you need the on-screen prompt all the time, right? But as a seasoned player, I tell you, there's nothing more annoying to me than not being able to turn off tutorial prompts.
Oh, yeah.
That are on through the whole game.
That are just
like, oh, you're within the quest mark region. You better call Senu and locate it. And it's like, okay, I get it. And I actually like Senu. I have no problem with the bird. The bird works exactly if you've played Wildlands, Tom Clancy's Wildlands. The bird works this exact same as the drone in that one, where you go up, you scout out, you mark all the targets. I've heard a lot of people complaining about this. The thing is if you don't want to know the locations of the people, you don't want to be, you want to be surprised when you're rolling through the base, don't use the fucking bird.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that, is they put this on-screen prompt right over your screen, so even if that's something you may have wanted to do, like I remember I couldn't count how many times I was getting in a fight and I was in the area where it's telling me to call Senu, and I'm like, I'm in fucking combat. I'm fighting 5 guys right now. I can't call fucking Senu.
Yeah.
Right? And it drove me nuts.
And
it drove me insane.
It's just always there.
There was more than just that. It was like, what was another one?
When you were racing the ram.
Yeah. When you were racing, press circle to ram. Press circle to ram. The whole time. Press circle to ram. Press circle to ram. It's like, oh my god. I know that I can press circle to ram. I'm aware after the 15th fucking time that you've told me, game.
You had me run a tutorial race.
Those points where the on-screen tutorial prompts, when they just wouldn't go away, like they just didn't go away. The whole 100+ hours I spent in this game, like they started to piss me off really bad.
Oh yeah.
That shit was annoying. Good call on bringing that up. That was annoying as fuck.
Well, that's another thing that you got to think of, is this is Assassin's Creed. So there's very little preparation involved with the gameplay, right? And like you said with the story elements, it's kind of like lackluster compared to Witcher 3, but like the world and the place and the time,
it's
map
awesome.
Geographically, it's all very accurate.
It's Egypt. It's fucking cool.
Awesome,
it's cool to see the Sphinx, and he's like, Bayek's like, I thought it would be bigger. Like, it seems smaller. Yeah. And it's so, dude, like, that's what I thought too when I saw it. But that's true. Like, it's to scale.
Oh, yeah. And it's cool because I didn't even, know where the Sphinx was. Like, I didn't open my map at all.
Yeah.
I just saw the pyramids, and I was like, because I've seen maps of it in real life.
Like overhead Google Maps. Yeah,
here's the Sphinx. So, I just ran there from memory of, real-world maps, and it's just sitting there where it is.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's one thing, and so with the
Bayek
preparation
is an interesting
involved,
character.
Oh yeah, but there's very little preparation involved. There's a lot of stealth mechanics, so that's your preparation.
Well, it's more action based. It's not what you're saying. What Chubbz is saying is in comparison to The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, you've got to make potions. You've got to explore and find out what the monster.
You got to meditate.
Unlock it in the bestiary. You got to make the right potions, especially on Death March. You got to have the right oil. You know, there's all these things that you're preparing for, about the right bombs. You know, there's all these sorts of things you're preparing for. In Assassin's Creed Origins, it's just like, okay, I fucking press up to call Senu.
Yeah, that's your preparation.
Now I look around and I see everything, and I have it all marked. So now I'm gonna go in the base and
not
kill
only
it all.
that, but you have to like mark different areas, like the
treasure chests,
chests and the braziers, you know what I mean, where they like will call in reinforcements and you can actually set a trap there so it'll blow up instead of set on fire.
Yeah, the alarm.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. So there is some prep work, but it's, for the most part, at its core, like, Assassin's Creed Origins is an action game.
Yeah, it's Assassin's Creed. It's Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say
it's
that
a stealth action game with a lot more action than the other stealth games.
Yeah,
the other Creed games.
But it's like what you were saying about Jim Sterling being wrong but being right at the same time, because it's true, you know. There's like the same elements that you find throughout all Ubisoft games, you know, Far Cry and all these other different games. I think what
they could have done, what Ubisoft could have done to make Jim Sterling 100% wrong instead of just a little bit wrong, is to have different outcomes on these quests, to give a little bit more variety and flavor to the quests themselves. So it's not just like, oh, homeboy got kidnapped, go save him. You go there, you clear a base, and then, oh, homeboy is saved now. Because that wasn't what was interesting to me. It was the people. It was their lives. It was the things that they were getting caught up in. That one quest with the little girl that gets... We're going to be spoiling shit, by the way, everybody.
Spoilers.
Just so that's... I mean, I guess we didn't say that earlier, but obviously it's a late as fuck review. And, you know, like, we figure anyone who wants to play this game has played it. Anyone who doesn't give a shit, and here you go.
That's okay.
So, like... The one where the crocodile lady, like, kidnaps the little girl who was working with the guy who was the rebel leader, kidnapped his little girl, fucking drowned her, like that. Ledger. More quests needed to be like that.
Oh yeah.
Because there was nothing like it in the game. I can think of it and be like, yeah, but all these other stories of like people who needed help, it was interesting at the time, but I can't tell you what it's like Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And maybe I would know those better if I felt an incentive to replay it. Maybe I'd feel like those stories had more weight with me and I'd remember them more, like The Witcher 3's I do.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't do that. There's not these different variables. There's these, you know, it's like, okay, well, this is it. Like, this is what's happening. This is what you need to do. And once you do it, it's not going to change. It's just always going to be that.
When you get to the end, you're going to see the story and the whole, like... plot come together in this final, you know, and it's just gonna come short.
Yeah, it does.
It came short for me, you know, and that's one thing that I want to pull out right now is I really hated how they didn't go into depth with the vault and like who the civilization before these people
the ancient
were.
civilization, and
they
may have done more with them and had more notes alluding to more information about them when you're in the real world as the woman. I can't remember her name, but she's the one, you know how in Assassin's Creed it's always someone using like the machine to relive the memories.
Yeah, her name was Layla.
Yeah. Okay, so when you were playing Layla in the real world, there was the laptop that you could go to and read just tons of shit, and I didn't want to read it. I was having fun playing the game as Bayek.
Right.
And when I got to her, it was almost an annoyance. It was like, okay, what do I do? Oh, I go pick this up and then I put it back in the machine and now I can go back to playing Bayek.
Well,
what was the fucking
point? Every time that it popped you back to her, it would like immediately.
And it's almost like
go back.
And it's almost like they were like, okay, but let's have the information here optionally for them. But the thing is the way you delivered it is just like, here, read novels about this world where I think only the most diehard of Assassin's Creed fan would find interest in. I personally read a couple of them and I was like, I don't care. This is all mumbo jumbo to me. I want to get back to playing Bayek. Because that was the fun combat. That was the fun stuff. Well, the game
even like kind of wants you to do it because there's so many times where it'll pull you back. You'll watch a cutscene and then immediately after the cutscene, it's like, okay, enter the machine again.
Yeah, and the machine starts beeping.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you even at the final scene with her where William Miles or whatever that guy comes in to recruit her for the Brotherhood of Assassins in the modern day.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I was even like, that's it. Just watch the cutscene and go back. I was like, bullshit. And I walked up to him and tried to talk to him and he said just like some one-liner phrase,
Yeah.
and then she goes, well, I gotta get back in the machine if I want to avoid this guy. It's like, okay, game, you're not even like giving me a chance to want to give a shit about this fucking side story that's just there to be there.
It's there because that's what it has to be. Like, there has to be someone. It's like, why didn't you just leave that shit out?
Yeah.
Like, cut her the fuck out of the game, cut him out of the game, doesn't matter, just have it be about Bayek. And this is, I mean, it's called Assassin's Creed Oranges, not Assassin's Creed Chick in the future, reliving the fucking Oranges by, you know, going in a machine and then having, like, it's just, I don't know, yeah, I agree. Like, her friend died at some point, and I was like, cool, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, you've literally made up 10 fucking minutes of this game up to this point. And, like, I'm in it, like, hours and hours and hours. I don't fucking care that your friend died.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough time for me to give shit that your friend died. That they found your friend and they killed your friend because you're working against Abstergo or against their orders, or I don't know what's going on here.
You're
I don't
a rogue
care.
Abstergo
I want to
agent.
see Bayek. I want to see Bayek. What was Bayek's wife's name?
Aya.
Aya. I want to see Bayek. I want to see Aya. I want to be in that world. I want to see the, you know, the Creed forming. I want to see, you know, what happens with Bayek's son. You know, like, because that's the thing. So the whole game starts, you're Bayek, your son gets fucking killed, and it's in the worst possible way ever, because you're trying to kill this guy who's got him captive, and you actually stab your own son. You find out these guys are there because they're trying to open an ancient vault that has the the apple of Adam and Eve or some fucking shit.
The apple of Eden.
The apple of Eden, whatever that is. But you find out they're trying to get in this vault. They assume you know because Bayek is a Magi from the Old Kingdom, so they think maybe he knows some of the... Because at this point, this is after the Old Kingdom, so these people, they're like living in the ruins of another civilization they really don't know much about, other than like their religion and shit. So like... That's the setup, and you want to find out who these guys are, and they're basically what would be the Templars later, right? Or the Illuminatus,
the
or whatever
order
the
of
fuck
the
they
ancients.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole theme with the villains throughout Assassin's Creed games is they're the ones who want to force peace by, you know, dictatorship, you know, forcible, you know, kind of like, you know,
cow them to our will.
Yeah, they will do what we tell them to do because of fear and not because they want to do it because of love. And like that's the counter.
And Creed,
the
and the Creeds are there to just like basically stab at them in the shadows and cut their ranks and break them down.
Yeah, because they want to promote peace through liberty and freedom.
So that's what you're seeing throughout the whole game, and it's very cool. It's laid out in a cool way. I'm not going to get into the individuals of the different people you killed, but they made them just so distasteful that like when you get to the point where you're killing them, you're like, good, and it felt awesome. There was like a sense of righteous justice there, because not only are these people responsible for Bayek's son's death, they're responsible for Bayek and his wife not being able to be together, and you know, like they're off trying to get revenge now, so like he never gets to see his wife, she never gets to see him. They're responsible for like the suffering of the people, because most of them are governors or high-ranking officials, so they're responsible for slavery, like murder, fucking just all sorts of evil, grimy shit. And the best thing about doing this, like I did it like every quest I came across, I did all the quests before I moved on to the main quest. And the cool thing about doing that is it alludes to all of these different things that these fuckers are doing, so that when you get to that moment of like vengeance, righteous justice, like it feels like that.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like I just made this fucking world a better place.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you go back out and there's more quests and you're learning about more of them. You're like, Jesus, there's another son of a bitch I gotta kill.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's very cool. That's what this game did well. And this game was definitely worth the money to me. Definitely worth the money to me.
It was worth the experience.
It was worth playing through. I don't think it's worth buying the season pass. I'm not going to be playing the DLC. I just don't care, because at the end of the day, when you hit the end game, they had put in this Destiny-esque grind. Like everything has to have some sort of Diablo-style grind or something like that to it nowadays. And this is a paint by numbers that at the end of the game falls short. It's okay, we have 3 skills that we can get over and over again to increase our bow damage, our melee damage, or our tool damage. And that's the end game. That's your Paragon points, what you would. And then like Diablo, it's like Paragon, it's like life. damage resistance. There's like over 10 choices.
Basic raw stats to give
Yeah.
your character a little oomph.
Yeah, like it's got more things. With this, it's like, okay, I can deal 1% more damage with my sword. This level up, I can deal 1% more damage with my bow, or 1% more damage with my tools.
Yep.
So the end game's dumb. Once I went through, I explored the whole map. The only thing I didn't do was all the treasure hunts. I didn't do them. I had explored, the papyrus skulls. They're treasure hunts. They had them in the other games too. But the thing about those is, like, I just, those are whatever to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go around and find a picture, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, where's Waldo with a clue?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Here's
that's
a clue to an area.
It's not fun gameplay to me. I can see how someone who loves, and I love the world, but I was, like, my time exploring the world was like, oh, what's here? Is this dangerous? Like, is this, now it's what I liked. Once I got done exploring everything, I'm like, well, I know that that's a bandit camp. That's a fucking Roman soldier camp. That's a fucking, lion den.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's my point in playing it? You get XP slow as piss.
Oh, yeah.
There's people who have these videos that they're teaching you how to farm XP, and it's literally you go and kill 5 lions, exit the game, reload, go kill 5 lions, exit the game, reload, go kill 5 lions.
Why?
That's the fastest way people have found to level up. They have this arena.
There's no activities at the end. There's just the
and the
reward
rewards
mode.
are all piss small. You get no coin. You get like fucking 500 drachmas or something from fucking doing the arena for 15 minutes. You get like only like fucking 250 XP for that. Like that's the thing, is like, because they're selling drachmas, because they're selling skill points, because they're selling fucking things that you have
time savers.
They want to make it as difficult as possible for you to get those items. Personally, the only thing I didn't have trouble getting in the game that I could tell hadn't been throttled or wasn't, I don't know, I didn't have a problem, was the upgrade materials. I upgraded all of my slots, like the bracers, the hidden blade, all those things. I leveled all of those up just by killing things that I came across through questing.
Oh, yeah.
Or finding, like, those guys who had, like, the stashaways of them. Because,
and then you take their resources.
yeah, because there's, on the map, there's patrols that are going, and if you send up Senu, you can see, like, oh, well, that guy has a bundle of this fur. Or that guy has a bundle of this fur, and I need that for this, to upgrade this thing in the skill tree. So you can go, you can track them, kill them. I just never had a problem with those. Drachmas, though...
Dude, same here, man.
Like, drachmas were definitely diddled out.
Oh yeah, that's why I never went to a merchant.
Experience points were definitely diddled out. Like, once the quests are done, I'm not seeing any progress.
At all.
And I don't want to play a game where I'm not going to progress. And I don't want to play a game especially where I'm not progressing, where I can see that if I gave them fucking $10, I could progress a few levels.
Oh yeah.
So
there's a game where there's literally like 2 things for you to do at the end.
Yeah, and I like 2 things, because you can run the arena, the horde mode in the arena, and that's it.
Yeah.
What else is there?
There's like
there's those
hard mode arenas.
There's event bosses too. There's like the event Anubis and all that. But they only drop loot once. And then even after that, I've killed them at the start of it. After that, because I've seen on Twitter, like, the Anubis is up, and I'll be like, okay, and I'll hop on, and I'll go kill him just to see what I get, and I get nothing. I get some drachmas.
Wow.
And I'm like, cool. So, like, that's the point. The end game, like, just a few things they could have done to spice it up, in my opinion. One, have, like, a daily arena boss. So you have all these arenas throughout the game, and there's the bosses that you can fight. And they, you know what I mean? Have a daily elephant boss that you have to kill. Because once you go and fight these elephants, these giant elephants and the guys on top of them, pretty hardcore fights, they're gone. They're dead. You can't fight them again.
And the same with the Falaki tie.
Yeah, the Falaki tie. Bring back the Falaki tie.
And that's one thing
I
hated.
Have a daily Falaki tie that's just level 40, beefy as fuck, hard to kill. Have him just on the map somewhere.
Yeah.
But instead you get the daily quest from what's-her-name, which just leads you to a free loot roll. That's all it is. It gives you a free chest. So that's just that daily right there. Fuck off with that daily, because that daily is there to try to get me wanting more of these things. So I'll be like, hey, here's some money. Give me some drachmas. I'm gonna buy some more.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. It's a bait carrot.
They have that grind. They have that random loot system, and it's just like you said, there's nowhere to put it.
I felt like it was fun leveling up and playing through the story. Like
Yes.
it was fun getting new weapons and trying out new weapons and getting new legendaries.
But even then, like,
I felt like it was awesome that they made it so you could bring your legendaries up with you.
yeah.
So if you got a legendary, it
There
wasn't.
is one thing that
Yeah.
I want to point out, though. Another thing that you really didn't enjoy is because you were playing on hard mode, the end mission where it swapped to Aya for the last two
Oh my
missions.
god. Yeah, so it swaps to Aya the last 2 missions, and she has on level like 20 shit.
Yeah.
She has on level garbage crap.
No legendaries, just like blue.
So I'm assuming they just wanted me to play Assassin's Creed style at that point, like stealth, but I really didn't want to. And that made me mad that at that point where I had felt like I was limited because I didn't have gear on Bayek. And once I got gear on Bayek, I could just ride into a camp, pull everything, and just kill it all right there. From going to that to all of a sudden being like, okay, now you're rewound in time 20 levels ago. It fucking sucked. That definitely pissed me off.
Yeah.
That was definitely a point in
And
the
then
game where I
it's
was like,
like-
why would you do this? Like, why would you fucking let me go from level 40 to level 20?
Yeah.
Like, have level 40 damage weapons to level 20 damage weapons. It's bad. That was bad. That was poor. She should have had weapons that were equivalent to what Bayek had.
Oh, yeah.
Give her, you want to have her make her use, like, those twin swords or whatever, that's fine. But give her a good fucking set.
Or like,
She's the leader of the fucking assassins,
Yeah.
isn't she? She's one of the fucking original assassins. And she has fucking shit gear. After Bayek's been stomping shit. I remember I was so pissed I was even like, this game is fucking sexist. It's trying to say Bayek's better than her because he's a man and she can't keep up because she's a woman. That's why she's got shitty weapons. I was just so mad.
oh, yeah. But
That-
then, like, at the end of that, seeing where that leads.
It was like 10-minute
then-
fights to kill one enemy.
Oh, yeah.
I was pissed.
But then you got to the end and you beat the game, and it's literally, I remember your reaction because it was the same reaction for me. It was like, okay, that's the end.
That's
okay.
it. It's over.
Cool. Done.
It just shows her go and start the Roman chapter, and he goes into Egypt and starts the chapter in Siwa. And that's how it ends. And that's it. It's Assassin's Creed Oranges.
Yep.
And that, it's telling the origin of the Assassin's Creed. It's telling you where they are, what they're doing, and it's in my opinion, it's the best Assassin's Creed game. I think it's worth the price. But I also think it's unfair to give this game this, and honestly, I think it is with Horizon Zero Dawn. And I really liked Horizon Zero Dawn. But I don't think that game should get compared to The Witcher 3.
No.
It does that game a disservice because
we
Horizon
clear-
Zero Dawn is a good game. Assassin's Creed Oranges are a good game. But when you compare them to The Witcher 3, they're kind of meh.
And I would say if you even compared them to each other, the experience that you're going to get is completely different. Like if you go into
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be like Assassin's Creed Origins, you're going to be let down.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you go into a vice
But that's
versa,
what the thing is people just compare them
and that's why
it's
I'm just like, we
but
need to
this is-
stop.
This is kind of on the developers and publishers too at a certain point because they are delivering samey experiences.
Oh yeah, and
There's
you can feel it.
you can feel the RPG model. It's like, okay, well there has to be loot that drops. There has to be, upgrade tree. And when the upgrade tree is a simple linear path, like in Horizon Zero Dawn, it was just like there was no choice, no give and take. It's like I will get all of it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of when will I get it all. And even in Assassin's Creed Origins, where you felt like in the beginning you were like, oh, I'm kind of being forced to choose a specialization. Like, do I want to go into tools? Do I want... All became fucking meaningless once you hit level 40 and you just had everything.
Yep.
And that's
You were in every tree.
Yep, once you were in every tree and you were just like, and you were like picking what skills you wanted because some of them were just pointless. You're like, I don't know, I'm not ever going to use that one.
The
Like the one
only-
that slows you down when you jump off a building with the bow. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
when do I do that? I'm a sniper. I don't jump off
I'm
the
up
building
here with
while
my
I'm...
predator bow.
Like, why would you
sniping
do that?
people,
Why
yeah.
would you do that? That'd be stupid. I can sit up here and get 3 headshots and kill them all, or I can jump down like an ass and possibly get surrounded by reinforcements.
Yeah.
It's that. So there were points like that in the skill tree, but that's the thing. Like, there's no give and take. There's no, player sacrifice in order to get, build one certain specialization. And that's what makes the RPGs that stand out the most, that's what makes them so awesome. Is it's like there's choices all throughout the game, not only just in quests, but in character progression, in armor, in, equipables. And in this, it's like, okay, well, I got this skin, so I'll use this skin. And that's exactly how it was in Horizon Zero Dawn.
And the armor,
there was no separate armor pieces. Armor fucking was set in one thing. It's like, here's a skin for you. Here's a fucking skin.
Yep.
And that's exactly what in both of those games. In The Witcher, it's like, oh look, I got a new chest piece. It has better armor. And then when you finally build your first Witcher set, and you're like, yeah, and it doesn't look that good because it's still like the base level. But it's still like, you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking Witcher, I'm starting out. Yeah. I'm going to get that good shit when I find it, I'm going to go kill some monsters, I'm going to get it. And it's just this sense of like, I don't know. That's the thing with those games.
Well,
they're
true.
RPGs, but to say they're RPGs like The Witcher is fucking stupid. Because we want to redefine the genre of RPG to be like The Witcher. That's what we should all want. Because that's what's the best. That's what you can replay over and over again. That's what you can, oh, well, this time I'm going to specialize in swords. This time I'm going to specialize in signs. This time I'm going to specialize in straight potions. It's like there's different replay there. Oh, this time I'm going to kill this guy. This time I'm going to let this guy go. This time I'm going to, and you see all these different things that you wouldn't have saw before.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just... That's stop comparing like games to The Witcher and Dark Souls.
Stop comparing games to games. Like, just start using a vocabulary. Are we that fucking stupid?
Well, I think a huge problem is it's games journalists that look at, like, they're just writers. They're not gamers, they're writers. So they're looking at footage online. They're seeing, oh, well, look, he fucking did a side quest, so this is a Witcher-like experience. Oh, well, he's got to fucking press R1 and R2 to attack? Oh, well, this is just like Dark Souls. And I really think that's what it is. It's ignorant people who really don't know. Because if you've played any of these games, like, all the way through, you're going to be very hesitant. Like, I would compare Hollow Knight to Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that one, I don't think a lot of Souls fans would disagree with me on that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But if I was to say, like, oh, well, Dragon's Dogma is like Dark Souls. No, it's not.
No, it's
or
not.
Monster Hunter is like, it's just like Dark Souls.
No.
It's slow, steady, deliberate combat. It's fucking big enemies. It's life bars. It's stamina. It's helling.
Yeah.
There's a dodge.
My problem with it is with these game journalists is they're just bad. They're bad at playing video games, and they're bad at fucking vocabulary, which journalists means you should have a strong vocabulary. I mean, you read some old-timey newspapers.
There's some good ones. There's some really good writers.
I'm saying you read like some old-timey newspapers from like the 1950s. It is like so proper. Like the vocabulary was just like on par. They knew what they were fucking doing. Punctual, fucking, you know what I mean? And nowadays you see all these typos and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's to a point where we can't even fucking use a fucking thesaurus to come up with different goddamn words to compare things to each other.
Well, if you're gonna say like Assassin's Creed Oranges is Dark Souls like, explain. And I'm gonna be able to say, okay, so it's got a heavy
strategic.
Attack. As a gamer, I'm gonna go, okay, so it has a light attack, a heavy attack, a dodge, and a parry. Does that make it a Souls game? No, I know that it doesn't. I know that it will not compare to Dark Souls because I've played through fucking Dark Souls. I know that it's not going to be like that's one that I was like, I actually kind of got taken, by. Was that I heard that it was a Witcher-like open world experience. I can't remember where I fucking read that quote, but I swear to God I read that quote at one point. So going into this, I was expecting a lot of like, quests with outcomes and like very good storytelling.
Story within a story within a story.
It was meh. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining and captivating in the moment, but I can't think of like, I can only think of that quest with the poor little girl that gets fucking killed.
Yeah.
Because that was like the reaction from the mother, like the voice acting on that was good. It was you felt it. You're like, fuck, like this motherfucker's gotta die. Mm-hmm. Like this gator has got to die, and that was like the guy that was your target was it the crocodile?
The crocodile,
Yeah.
and then you like find out that it was really some old woman.
Yeah, some rich old bitch.
And I love
she's
that
like,
scene when you kill her, and like that's another thing that I really like is the death scenes. How like you're almost saying goodbye to them as they're dying.
It's like
going
you're
to the
seeing them
afterlife.
through the river or whatever they called it. I can't remember what they called it, but that's like what you're seeing. You're watching their spirit pass. But that was in the other Assassin's Creed games. You kill someone, there'd be like
different religious
Yeah.
lore. Like so for the Assassin's Creed 2, which I played a little bit of, that one it was more like Spain, you know,
Like
and so it was
Christianity.
Christianity,
Yeah,
Catholicism, and so like every time that you would kill somebody, you were like talking almost from like a Catholic's point of view. You know what I mean?
It was the field of reeds. That's
Yeah,
what they called
and-
it. You had to
yeah.
cross through the field of
The
reeds or
Duat.
something. Yeah,
It
the
was the
Duat.
Duat.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the Duat. You were seeing them across the Duat. It was very cool though. They were made even more so because of like we were saying that. Oh, these are bad fucking people because you see the storytelling telling you how bad they are, but then when you finish, you're like, I can't really remember. I mean, I remember they were corrupt
Well,
and
that's
like
the
they were
thing.
killing innocent people to try to
and
save
not
themselves.
only that,
and,
but I
like,
really like the inclusion of Cleopatra and her brother, and how
Yeah,
like
that
her
was cool.
brother was actually backed by the Order of the Ancients.
yeah, Ptolemy.
And then like actually helping Cleopatra throughout the story, getting to that point where she backstabs you and the
Yeah.
Egyptians.
Like she fucking.
She marries Caesar, which was
Yeah,
like
just
the head
leaves
of the
Egypt.
order. And
It was very cool. It was a good game. It had a good story going through. It was enjoyable. I'm just saying it wasn't as memorable to me as The Witcher. It wasn't as memorable to me as Dark Souls or other games.
I can remember the story, and I remember these different story elements coming through my brain because these are the ones that stand out the most. But at the end of the day, am I going to play it again? And the answer to that is no.
What's the
Because
incentive?
I've already seen it.
It's the same experience. I
Yeah.
tried to play Horizon Zero Dawn on New Game Plus not long ago, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, nah.
Because you know where it's going to end.
Yeah, I'm just like, I was watching
It's like
it, and I was
watching
like,
Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
the ending. What's good?
Exactly.
Like M. Night Shyamalan's movies, perfect example.
You want to give me a twist? Have a different fucking theatrical version than you have a fucking video version.
Yeah, how
Video
about this?
version.
You remaster that movie, but this time Bruce Willis is alive. What?
Yeah.
There
and
you
the
go.
kid's fucking dead.
Yeah, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, there you go. But that's the thing. There was no different avenues.
there's no different outcome.
It was one straight track. Once you get to the end, you're like, yeah, that was cool. It was fun. But at the end of the day, you're like, I
Yeah.
don't want to play it again.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to farm the end game.
At all.
I don't
There's
know.
no end game.
Even when you release your new DLC, like, I don't want to buy your new DLC because I saw how you handled the end game in the base version. I'm sure it's going to be the same, you know?
Yeah.
Farm drachmas, farm,
It's
5
like-
lions in the desert,
Okay.
reload quest. Farm 5 lions in the desert, reload quest.
Yeah.
No.
The best way to explain the end game of this would be the end game of Destiny 1.
Without
Without the
multiplayer.
raids,
Without multiplayer.
Without the raids, without the Nightfall, with only, what was that one? The House of Wolves. That's the only thing that you can do in Destiny
Yeah.
1. But the story and the, like, overall experience that you're going to get from Assassin's
Now you're
Creed
comparing
Origins
it to
is better,
Destiny.
but that's the end game.
You're going off the whole time telling people they need to stop.
Well,
doing it.
because there's lackluster
It's
activities.
It's the end game farm.
It's very
shit.
bare
But you could
bones.
compare
It's
that
just
to
there to
Diablo.
be
You
there.
could compare that to Diablo 3 on release.
Yeah.
Don't. It's
Well,
like
no,
I think
because
you
there
say
was-
Destiny because it's got a lot of the
Well,
same.
there was a lot of things that you can do in Diablo. I say that to compare to Destiny because Destiny is the most bare bones out of any farming game that I have ever farmed.
It's true. It was pointless.
And this one, it's pointless even more so because like the only thing that you can do is
It
the
comes
horde
down.
mode.
It comes down to farming. It comes down to farming coin so that you can spend it on a loot box.
to do nothing.
That's
with
the
it.
farm because they told you could find all these weapons throughout the game, but once you finish beating the game and clearing everything, your rewards, like,
Yeah.
there's no more chests.
You see, they
there's
could
no
have
more.
added
There's
so
no
much
more. And you know the legendaries are only dropping in the fucking loot boxes, right? Like I got some for completing quests, like as quest rewards, and I got a couple off of like the main story bosses. But if you look at like where I got most of them, it was out of loot boxes. And how are you gonna fucking do those two things anyway? You can't do any more quests. The quests are done. You can't do any more, you know, you can't kill the bosses anymore. You've already killed the bosses. So what it is, it's going out, killing a bunch of soldiers, farming drachmas, going and buying loot boxes. And the drachmas are divvied out to you at a pace where there's no reason to fucking farm for loot boxes.
Yeah.
Like, there's not. You've beaten the game. What am I going to be using these new weapons on? And the ones from the Anubis event are better anyway. They're just better weapons. What is my reason to keep
go
playing
kill
it?
the elephant.
So they have this.
But then when you kill
they
the
have
elephant,
like
you're
this.
done.
They have this structure of what could be a good endgame farm, but they don't have any activities going on to supplement.
Yeah, they don't have any
There's
repeatable
one
stuff.
horde mode, one boss that sometimes shows up, and a fucking daily quest. That's it.
Yep.
There's no reason to do the fucking races because they're fucking pain in the ass and you get no rewards for
Unless
doing
you
them.
want to do the hardcore
There's no-
arena events like the
Even then,
the gladiator.
Even then, you get no fucking drachmas.
Not even from the hardcore ones.
Once you've already defeated it, it's done. I've beaten all those. So yeah, you get a bunch the first time you beat it, but once you've beaten it, you get like 50 drachmas, 100 drachmas for the hard ones. You get shit.
Wow.
So it's like you have all these activities like these elephants that just go away once you kill them. It's like you have all this stuff to add something to keep me logging in and coming back, and you've just failed.
There's
You've
nothing
failed.
there.
And
Yeah.
it's this little trap that's there for kids and like weak-minded individuals. I'm sorry if you're one of those people, but you're fucking I'm sorry, you're weak-minded. If you're fucking buying drachmas to buy loot boxes in Assassin's Creed Oranges, you're weak-minded.
Oh yeah.
If you're buying the skill points because you have a ton of money and you're playing that game
You
all
want
the
a
time,
boost?
that's whatever. I could give a fuck less. Like, whatever. But, because at least you're buying something specific.
Yeah.
You're saying, I'm going to get 3 skill points for buying this.
But even
I'm
the-
going to get a pack of crafting materials to buy
Yeah.
this. Like, this is going to give me a head so I can go through the game easier. Fine. Whatever. But if you're spending money on fucking drachmas with the express purpose of going to buy loot boxes, you're a weak-minded fuck. You're a weak-minded
Or
fuck.
if you bought any of the, what are they, the cosmetic microtransactions like the unicorn or the
Fuck
pharaoh
that.
skin.
Fuck that. In that, I don't even
No,
give a fucking that.
because you
wanna,
can get,
yeah.
because
you can
that's
buy
even
those
pointless.
specific.
No, because that's even pointless because that'll piss you off if you buy those because if you get it in the game, you have 2 copies of the skin and you're just like, wow,
Yeah,
I'm
but
glad
at least,
that I bought that.
At least in that situation, they're saying, I bought it.
Well, yeah.
I got it because I wanted it and I bought it. I wanted the unicorn, so I gave them $5 and bought the fucking
But
unicorn.
there's nothing to do with that secondary copy. You can't sell
Well,
it.
yeah, it's
You can't, like-
dude, you can sell them now, but even though they've updated it so you can. But the
Okay.
point is I'm saying like if you do that, whatever. Like I wouldn't do it. I didn't buy fucking skins.
It just seems
But
kind
if
of
you
pointless.
buy specific, dude, the thing is it's pointless, but it's at the buyer's discretion.
Right.
Right? Like we think it's pointless. Someone else might be like, I want that fucking unicorn. Like that's a dope unicorn. I want to ride that unicorn. Here's $5.
It just feels like a duping trick. Like, it just feels like that.
Well, yeah, it's dumb. But the thing about it is...
It's like a trap.
Yeah, but the thing is the only person who's going to get pissed at that is someone who spends money on the loot boxes.
That's true.
If they buy those and then they spend money on the loot boxes and then they get these things...
That is true.
And they have things specifically in the loot boxes that you can't get anywhere else in the game. Like, you can't even buy
Like
them in the store.
weapons and stuff.
Yeah, like, you can't even buy them in the store.
All
So
right.
at that point, it's like, obviously, this fucking thing that's built there, like, loot boxes are built for weak-minded fucks. That's what loot boxes are built for. If you're someone who buys loot boxes, you're a weak-minded fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's in Overwatch and you justify it by saying, oh, well, they fucking give us free content and there's no fucking season pass for the fucking thousands of cartoons they've released on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. You're buying loot boxes in Overwatch, you're a weak-minded fuck. If you're buying Overwatch or loot boxes in CSGO, weak-minded fuck. If you're buying loot boxes in any game, if you're spending money on random chance because you like that fucking rat wheel that they've developed for you, you're a weak-minded fuck running in a fucking rat wheel. Sorry. And this is what will happen. This is what will happen. You'll have games like Assassin's Creed that are overall a good experience tainted by this weak-minded fuck bait. And I heard he made a video on, but fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. It's weak-minded fucks ruining it for everybody.
It's true.
Like, if you're spending money because you like, oh, I want a skin, but I don't want to get it on, I don't want to choose what I want it given to me randomly. I want them to decide what I get when I get it randomly. You're a weak-minded fuck. Like, I don't know how you can go through your life playing video games, calling yourself a gamer, and actually enjoy that. Actually enjoy that. Getting fucking digital skins and dances.
That's what's stupid.
Randomly. Randomly.
Like
Colors and motions randomly delivered to you. Weak-minded fuck.
What happened to quantity or quality?
Quality, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to quality?
What happened to skins you earn that meant something, that
Yeah.
people could see? Is like, we were having that conversation with Aristotle the other night, and he was saying, like, in WoW, I can't remember, but he pointed to, like, an OG weapon. That it was like, if they had that, it mattered. But nowadays, in like Call of Duty or other games where they're literally selling fucking weapons, or like free-to-play MMOs, anything like that, Warframe. It's like, when you see someone in a badass Warframe, it's not like you're like, oh man, like that took you some time to get. It's like, oh, you bought it.
You have some money.
And you know, people can say like, no, I grinded for it, but you're never going to truly believe them. You know what I mean? Because you've tried grinding for it and you never got it by grinding. And that's the thing. Like, if that's the only way something's available is through, you know, dedication, skill, putting in the work in the game, getting good at the game, you know, and overcoming something, then it means so much more than, oh, here's $5. Give me fucking drachmas. I'm going to buy a loot box. Oh, I got a unicorn. You know what I mean? Or, oh, I got the cool fucking Q-tip weapon.
Yeah.
Look, it's a Q-tip. It's a Q-tip staff. You see, that's the thing, like, and like, I understand the appeal of these things. I really do. Like, when I open them in games like Fortnite and things, like, I watch, and like, when I get something awesome, like when I got that unicorn on that one that I had just gotten from farming, I was like, fuck yeah, like, that's something that costs money.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just fucking cheated the system. Like, that was like I put in a quarter into a claw machine, and I just pulled out a fucking, you know, like, $10 toy. Like, I felt that rush. And I was like, but then it's tainted by this immediate realization that that's what they wanted me to feel. That's what they planned for me to feel.
Oh, yeah.
And once I get that, I'm like, they wanted me to feel that because I might be susceptible to getting addicted to that.
Oh, yeah.
And if I get addicted to that, I'm going to give them all my money and I'm going to buy loot box after loot box. And that's when I'm like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. That's when a game like The Witcher stands above. Because with that one, it was just like experiences with the story, like a feeling. Oh man, like, wow, what? Wow. And then you do it again and it's a different one. Wow, what? Wow. And it's just like a choose your own adventure book that fucking goes on forever, and you can constantly get new stories told to you. That's the type of thing that you should be doing, not throwing a skin in there with the hopes that it'll get me all aflutter and make me open my wallet and throw all my money at your screen.
Yeah.
Look at what Destiny has come to. Look at how Destiny's being received now. All right? Destiny 2's getting shit on all over the place. It's so nice. It's refreshing. It deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing. I hope that these motherfuckers start seeing. And I hope that gamers start seeing and stop giving games like fucking Overwatch a pass. Because as long as Overwatch gets a pass, then Assassin's Creed Origins gets a pass. And fucking every other game gets a pass. Because loot boxes are fucking loot boxes. It's them selling a random dice roll to you. It's bullshit. You want to make skins, put a lot of time into skins, and then sell skins, sell them. But sell them individually, let people pick what they want, and I'm still not going to play your fucking game. But hey, at least the people playing your game aren't turning into a bunch of fucking addicted assholes that are spreading that shit into other games and starting the fucking loot box revolution of like, it's okay to fucking get things randomly. RNG is God. It's good. I'm going to pray to RNGesus tonight that I get something good. That's our review of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oranges.
Thanks to Eurogamer. That's why we've been calling it Assassin's Creed Oranges.
I still can't believe that they fucked that up.
Someone wrote an article in Eurogamer that I read, and they called this Assassin's Creed Oranges.
Well,
Oranges.
I don't think they had oranges in Egypt. Did they?
I don't know. I think oranges are man-made and like way later on.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us. Talk to y'all later. Fucking love you guys. Till next time, stay awesome, stay smart, and don't buy any fucking loot boxes anymore, you weak-minded fucks. Love you.